Hello, this is Fear Dragon, and welcome to Breaking Out, the show about North American StarCraft 2 players. Here on this show, we take a look at an up-and-coming North American talent. Each week, we check out a new player to get a feel for their personality and their playstyle. On Thursday, we interview the player to find out more about who they are and why you should care about them. On Friday, we watch 3 of their games as we cover their playstyle in each of the 3 matchups. Saturday, we take a look at an awesome game they played and relax with a little bit of fun as we recap the week and get an analysis of the games. Breaking Out will cover 8 players before it culminates into the Breakout Invitational. With a minimum prize pool of $1,000, we find out who is the most likely player to break out of the North American scene. But enough of that. Let's go ahead and jump right into it. Hope you guys enjoy the show. Hello everyone. Welcome to Breaking Out, the show about North American StarCraft 2 players that you need to know about. Today on the show, you're going to notice that this is actually not the normal Breaking Out intro. In fact, we are actually watching a broadcast from the Deimos Esports Team League, a great team league that actually just recently ended, but we are in the week of Team Gravity's Kreos, and we are going to be jumping into the awesome game of the week, as well as kicking off the awesome day. Now, you might be wondering what's going on. This is actually, again, a game from the DETL, and basically what's happened so far is that Team Gravity has sent out Kreos, and they sent him out after they were down 0-2, and now they're sending him out to try and reclaim their potential victory in this team league. So you guys are going to get to see this game against Team Complexity's QXC. It's an amazingly awesome game on a very, very unique map, Neo Arkanoid. So let's go ahead and check it out. It is actually commentated by Boisterous SC2 and the real Nanman, i.e. Nanman. You can see their Twitters and everything on the screen, but I will see you guys in the arcade segment.
Dragon. If we have another break where Nanman gets up and gets water, it's going to be Fear Dragon. But anyway, spawning down here in the bottom right-hand corner of Neo Arkanoid, it is our red Zerg player from Team Gravity, managing to KO out Hendrilisk in the last game. It is Kreos.
And spawning up in the north right position, it is our purple Terran player from Complexity Gaming, the master of shenanigans. He is QXC.
All right, so Banshees are battle cruisers. What do you feel?
I wish battle cruisers.
I wish battle cruisers too. That would be.
Did you ever see that game where he went for the Planetary Fortress rush?
Yep. Into
battle cruisers.
Yep.
Oh, it's so good.
QXC is a silly game.
Kreos, beware the early pool. So, this will be cool to see how things work out. QXC normally is a really good player about having his supply depots spread out on this map. And I get, all right, you know, Boisterous, you love this map. Why don't you give a rundown of this map if nobody has ever seen this before?
Okay, so on this map, it's an island map until the 14-minute mark. You have to do around 30,000 points worth of damage to get to your opponent's base on any path. There's a lot of destructible rocks everywhere. They all have varying health. There's no rhyme or reason. The metal ones don't have more than the regular rocky ones. There's literally no rhyme or reason to the entire thing. It's completely random. Somebody in the SPL was just like, let's throw rocks everywhere. It was an homage to Dustin Browder. But anyway, you want to get map vision everywhere, because otherwise you're going to get Nidus Swarmed, Mutalisked, or Hydra Dropped. It's going to be like one of those 3 things. And you want to have Spore Crawlers everywhere, because otherwise there's going to be Banshees everywhere. Those are really the 2 strategies that work on this map. There's literally nothing else.
Now, there is one other thing. Mass Marine Medevac Drop. Which QXC has done in a DETL before. So, on this map, he has done this. He just says, I'm gonna just take my expansions and I'm gonna make like 5 barracks, and I'm just gonna press A, and I'm gonna have like 1 starport, make medevacs, and I'm just gonna drop everywhere and kill all of your stuff.
Karen, did you mute our voice? Oh, okay. Somebody, I think Techno might have hit his mute button, because I just got an alert from Skype that was like, voice is muted. I was scared.
I don't know. Maybe he was saying that you should mute yourself next time you're left by yourself. Maybe that's what it is. No. So we do see Kreos taking advantage of the fact there are creep tumors on this map to block everybody else except Zerg. So he's double expanding, no problem. His pool's on the way though, so we can get those queens going. And right now QXC just going for all the Marines, all the SCVs, and all the mules right now.
Yep. And it looks like QXC might actually be going for Marine drops, which I'm a little bit disappointed about. I won't lie. I was really railing for Banshees.
Well, there's a chance we could see it in the future, but you want to get that economy go. Your opponent gets 2 free bases though. That like, it would be silly if they didn't go for double hash before pool on a map where you can't be attacked. It's like a nice agreement: 10-minute no rush, or 14-minute if you don't want to drop or use Banshees. But
yeah, pretty much. Or if your opponent defends.
Yeah, well,
it's like, well, I guess I can't attack you. I can whittle away at these rocks, but we're already 7 minutes in, so I'm not going to kill them off before they just fall down naturally.
So QXC establishing his expansion down up in the top left. We do see he's going to be grabbing that bottom right expansion as well, killing all the creep tumors with Marines. Behind all this, adding additional barracks, adding more refinery, doing just kind of Marines, mules, SCVs. Good units.
Yeah, dude, it's MMM. I'm pretty sure, right?
Yeah. What else do you need?
Especially SCVs. Right? Those are another M.
It's right there, yeah.
Yeah, right there. The M's are right in their name. But anyway, we are going to have gas starting to come out from QXC, so he will be taking up at this point. Looks like he will be going for kind of a more mid-game drop strategy. And he is going to be getting a tech lab as well, which shouldn't surprise anyone as his priority because he wants stim as early as possible.
Yeah, very, very true here. And again, doing a good job having Marines in position to patrol, having supply depots. You can keep track of the rocks, keep track of any potential crazy shenanigans that could come out of Kreos here. But Kreos' shenanigans revolve around drones, and more drones. He's already up to 53 drones right now, and 9 more queued up. Finally getting that metabolic boost. He says, I guess I'll need this to help defend against drops at some point, but not before he's got his lair queued up, not before he's got that Numatide carapace coming out as well here. So he's doing a great job, basically playing as any Zerg would want to play, as greedy as possible. I don't need to make a single unit except for drones and queens right now, and I only need to make queens to make larva injects, not even creep tumors yet. So
yeah, pretty much.
It's great.
And we're actually going to be seeing drops coming out from Kreos. At least I think this is going to be drops. He does have Numatized carapace on the way. Although I guess this could just be for Overlord scouting. But it would be a little bit redundant to go for bonus Overlord scouting and then get mutas at the same time.
Well,
I guess maybe you could patrol it to check for drops.
Mm-hmm. Check for drops. Because there's so much of that space where the rocks are. So keep yourself safe, and could very easily go into the drops later on. Baneling drops. Bane Rain all day. But Muta's going to be coming up, getting the upgrades. 1-1 coming out for Kreos. 1-1 coming out for QXC. Stim on the way. See Factory coming out here. Overlord zips in there and goes, oh, okay, you're just making Marines.
That's a lot of Marines, and he popped. That Overlord did not have a fortunate existence. He morphed into an Overseer. He was like, all right, it's going to be a party up in here. I have 9 eyeballs now. I'm going to see everything. And then they all started shooting at his eyes because those are the weak spots. And
just and he was blind, and then he exploded.
Yeah, it was a poor day for that Overlord.
So right now, again, it's at this point in time, nothing crazy is going on. We see spores coming down for Kreos, which is actually really smart. He's getting his additional queens in the perfect intercepting positions here. But I don't know. I feel like QXC is not that worried. With only Marines, he's like, okay, send your tiny flock of mutas at me. I'll kill them all. Then I'll go drop you. But having the mutas is so important on this map to try to intercept those medevacs when they're flying over that dead space there. And we already see the flock starting to gear up. Can be able to start engaging. Now there's one turret there, but no widow mines or anything have been built yet. I would like to see a couple get thrown in, but right now he's busy adding reactors and stuff, building more barracks and getting armories. I guess you can't really worry about that right now.
Yeah, it looks like he is going to be able to get around and snipe off the supply depots, which is very annoying for QXC. It's not going to supply block him at any point, I don't think. I'm pretty sure he has 2 more supply depots building right now. So it's going to be a little bit annoying, but nothing really game-changing. It looks like we are going to have QXC going for Hellbat drops at this point. I'm guessing. He has the armory down. He has his factory. Has a reactor on it. Yeah, it's going to be Hellbats.
Yeah, another factory coming up. The widow mines are so important right now against the Mutaflock and just
Yeah.
making sure you're safe at this point in time. But he could very easily go for the Hellbats later on when he sees, like, all right, you're basically just getting a lot of lings and stuff with this here that I need to really be able to defend against. But, you know, when it gets to that 14-minute mark and all of this disappears, all the walls disappear, it becomes a little bit scarier for him. But Marines did manage to try to get over there and drop over on Kreos' side, not really getting too much done with that. So QXC kind of stuck in an awkward spot, like, well, I got a lot of Marines right now, but I can't really do anything with them.
I would say a few more than a lot. He has 52 Marines right now. He almost has as many Marines as SCVs, and it looks like that count might be equalized very soon as we have a very damaging Mutalisk flock coming in here. Being annoying.
Being annoying, yeah. And with the Widow Mine starting to get thrown into the mix, it's going to be a little bit easier to deal with, because it's very possible for, you know, players to not pay attention and fly and end up losing to some great Widow Mine shots. But we see Medivacs swinging their way along the center of the map. Mutalisk flock does end up missing them, but there is an Overlord there, so it could very easily spot them. Yep. And immediately Kreos does swing around to intercept.
Yeah, this is really, again, this is just really well played by Kreos. I'm not quite sure what these Medivacs are going for. I think they're going to try to get around the bottom of the map now, but they should have seen them. They were scouted by an Overlord, and they should just drop down and try to not die for nothing to the Mutalisk flock.
Yikes. Yikes. Yikes.
Oh, yep, there goes one.
Two.
And there goes two.
Nice snipes there. Does unload a couple, but now they're just stranded.
Yep. Like, he shouldn't even destroy these rocks, because those guys are pretty much going to be useless if he can stop any Medivacs from getting down there, at least until the 14-minute mark.
And back on over, we see QXC getting that drilling claw, finishing up, getting 2-2 finished up, and having a decent amount of Marines there. But Mutas have no problem dealing with the couple of turrets that are positioned at his expansions. They go in, take them out. Stim Marines come in to try to chase those guys away, but the Muta count is already at 27. Behind all this, he still has a huge, huge wave of Zerglings here. Over 100, just kind of sitting, killing rocks. So, like, I don't care if these rocks disappear soon. We're going to be just destroying everything.
Well, I mean, they need something to shoot at now, man.
They need something to do.
Yeah, there's really... They got to have entertainment. Mm-hmm. It's very important in a militaristic society.
Now, there are a couple of Widow Mines here, and he does start flying them in to sacrifice a couple to the shots. And, great shot actually comes down from one of the mines, already getting 3 kills off of it. We do see Overseer has been grouped up with these guys, but Mutas are starting to get low in health. He's got to be careful on them.
Yeah, these Widow Mines are just in such a great position. It's so important to have like 5 or 6 Widow Mines down here on the southernmost base. Just because, I mean, even if he flies in with an Overseer, it still slows down how fast you can go with the Mutas by so much. It looks like we are going to have a huge bust coming from Kreos here. He's going to be going right for this wall. There is a little tiny wall right in between these two guys. It's like there's literally maybe a 2-minute ceasefire left in this game, and then it's just going to be guns blazing. It looks like we are going to have some Marines getting dropped, trying to snipe off as many banelings as possible. That was pretty nice. Actually getting a couple of Mutalisks here before getting lifted off and returned home.
This is going to get really, really dangerous really quickly. Yeah, those rocks are QC says, no, I'm just going to break them. We're going to fight now, even though they're about to die very soon. But he's basically saying, okay, there's a small window here where things could go pretty well for me if I get in there and get some good engagements, but he has to be careful and still has to worry about defending because the Mutas flying up, still engaged in the third base. That Marine count, yes, it's awesome, but it's only sitting at 2-2, 3-3 just now being started, and it's really going to come down to those Widow Mines in the next engagement. How well he does being able to take them out, take out those Banelings, take out a lot of the Lings and stuff. And like you said, I wouldn't even mind seeing a couple of the Hellbats get thrown into the mix.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, the really scary thing about Arkanoid that you have to remember is that up until the 14-minute mark, it's an island map, and then past the 14-minute mark, it's probably the most open map we have in the pool. Yeah. So, like, this kind of Ling Bling style is a little bit, like, weird to see come out, but if you just hold on until the 14-minute mark, then suddenly you have the scariest army in the entirety of StarCraft. Because, like, just look at that. All the rocks, synchronized explosions, and now there are so many paths opened up. QXC is going to need a beautiful engagement here. And it looks like we have some Marines coming forward here, managing to kill off a few Mutalisks. I'm not sure if it was quite enough. These Widow Mines are spread out pretty well, but they are going to go off on just a couple of those Zerglings. Kreos trying to find a spot to engage. He could just go for the runaround here because his army is so much more mobile than QXC's.
Yep, and QXC has all the splits going on here and trying to keep the Marines as live as possible, but looks like Widowmine's going to start crashing in, getting rolled over by the Banelings, Lings, and Mutas. Everything just kind of takes their way and says, okay, no problem, you just got medevacs, I'll keep moving my way across it. But QXC's still pretty much maxed, though. He's got so many forces back.
Oh, and the Widowmine shots, not quite what he needed. They got a lot of Zerglings, but that was not the army he wanted to kill off, and it looks like we are going to have the Banelings rolling in at this point, doing so much damage to the Bio Ball, and the Bio Ball of QXC getting absolutely trashed there. He does not have a whole lot left. He has a couple of Thors popping out at this point, along with 7 Marines at a time, and it looks like he might be able to clean up this army, but he lost his third. There's another flood of Zerglings coming in. There are still a lot of Mutas in the sky, and this Thor, I'm not sure if it's quite going to have the firepower to help him hold this off. Now, of course, Kreos doesn't have any Banelings left. He doesn't have that huge AoE unit anymore, but, I mean, that was still a lot of damage for Kreos to pull off there.
That was, but one benefit that QXC does have going for him, he has that +3 attack, +3 armors finishing up, and Kreos is trying to take all these expansions in the left-hand side, but handful of Marines, couple Widowmines land, and he's going to try to shut this down. But no, Widowmines, no! Lapuro! What? No! That was so perfect. They would have been able to do so much damage to those Mutas. Oh, bad timing of QXC to lift those off. And now QXC going to try to move in, try to apply some pressure back on Kreos' side as he keeps queuing up more and more forces, able to reestablish his third. He's flying a command center over to the top left, but there's already overlords there to block it.
Yeah, and that's going to be super annoying for QXC, because now not only is he not going to be able to land that command center, but it's going to be known, and we do have the massive Mutalisk flock moving up here to intercept it. I think they'll be able to kill it off. Yeah, they'll almost certainly be able to kill it off here. And that command center is going to get slaughtered in the sky, and that's a pretty big hit for QXC right now.
Yeah, especially losing a lot of his forces in the center of the map. Does get a couple hot pickups going on, but those Banelings and Lings getting great surface area. That's one of the downsides on this map. As it gets to these later stages where the whole map opens up, it gets kind of perfect surface area for the Zerglings and Banelings to just go in from all angles, but a huge influx of Marines comes and starts chasing those Mutas back on over to Kreos' side. Now, both players pretty much still fighting around that 160, 190 supply here, trying to get as best engagements as possible. But, you know, 3-3 still not done yet for Kreos. He still does not have the adrenal glands yet, but a lot of forces swinging in.
Yeah, and there's only one Widowmine with this army, and it is not going to be that scary. It manages to kill off a fair amount of Zerglings, but I'm not sure if it was enough. QXC's entire army is probably going to go down here. It most certainly will. It does get some decent trades off, and in fact, these Mutas are going to be flying into the grinder that is 3-3 Marines, so quite a few of them go down, and it looks like the army from QXC in the middle of the ground is going to be killed off at this point. Kreos taking an extreme supply lead right now. These Mutas are just being so amazing at doing what they do so well, and being fast and outmaneuvering everything. We have a lot of medevacs going down, but the Widowmine positioning is actually starting to get the better of Kreos here, and it looks like the Marine forces are able to drive Kreos back yet again, but the longer this game goes on, the more effective these 6 bases are going to get for Kreos.
Yeah, QXC, yes, you have the 3 bases. Yes, you're only producing Marines, 15 at a time, but 3-3 is seconds from completing here for Kreos, and things are just going to get worse and worse for QXC as it goes on. He's going to try to swing his way down and start taking out some of these bases, but any reinforcements that pop out will be killed by the Mutalisk. Any Widowmines that stay in the center will get picked off by the Mutalisk. And there, one hatchery is going to fall. A couple Mutas have popped out. They will be cleaned up, but there's the Mutaflock, there's the swarm of Lings, and this force is going to get cleaned up. Losing a lot of medevacs already. He does ignite those afterburners, but he's going to lose everything just to snipe another expansion.
I really wish he hadn't brought like his entire medevac count down there, because I mean those units were forfeit. There was no way they were going to get out even with medevacs, and by bringing that entire medevac flock down there, he basically just sacrificed 4 or 5 medevacs to the great Zergy gods, and the Zergy gods don't need that right now. The Zergy gods are quite content.
Yep, but we do see getting a decent positioning here, having both those kind of walls on both sides help prevent any surrounds, and does end up taking out the Overseer, so Widowmines are going to be a little bit more effective, but now he actually got out in the open, allowing the Lings to get the surface area. Baneling's going to roll in, tries to split, burrows one Widowmine, but it is not going to be enough, and GG is called.
Wow. That's got to be a big hit for Complexity's confidence.
Yeah, I mean, that's QXC's map.
Yeah, I don't think QXC has lost a game on that map, ever. And I'm pretty sure basically every time he gets sent out and Arkanoid hasn't already been played, he plays Arkanoid.